Today is the feast of the Holy Family. It's also the feast of Holy Innocents. And families are a complicated reality, especially nowadays. The traditional family has expanded somewhat, and we have all different configurations. We're part of our own families, but we're also part of the human family, and it's the invitation of today is how we live within that family, what we do, the influence we have on others, how we affect the growth of our relationships within the family. And today's readings are challenging, I think, especially the letter to the Colossians. If we just remember what we heard in the Mass this morning, put on compassionate hearts, kindness, humility, meekness and patience, bearing with one another, and if one has a complaint against another, forgiving each other, as the Lord has forgiven you. Be thankful. Let the word of God dwell in you richly. But it also says, teach and admonish one another in all wisdom. I think that the word of the Lord is saying, be compassionate, be kind, be loving, but also be challenging. Don't let things go unsaid within our relationships, because that's the way we all grow, but do it in all wisdom and do it with a compassionate heart. And as we are within our human families, our human relationships, those people we meet every day, whether it's within the family or within our work, we're also part of the way we treat people is how we treat the rest of humanity in a way. And I think that the celebration of today recalls that we're also part of a human family and have responsibilities in a wider sense. Treating the stranger kindly begins with treating our friends and our families kindly. We are called to be kind to the refugees, and it's difficult with the politics we have in the UK and throughout the world at the moment. There's an inclination to treat the refugee as a threat, as an enemy. And I would like to finish with this poem from Malcolm Guite, which is called Refugee. We think of him as safe beneath the steeple, or cosy in a crib beside the font. But he is with 1,000,000 displaced people on the long road of weariness and want. For even as we sing our final carol, his family is up and on the road, fleeing the wrath of someone else's quarrel, glancing behind and shouldering their load. Whilst Herod rages still from his dark tower, Christ clings to Mary, fingers tightly curled. The lambs are slaughtered by the men of power, and death squads spread their curse across the world. But every Herod dies and comes alone to stand before the Lamb upon the throne.